11 best motivational podcasts that will unleash your greatness. Hey, you need some motivation? You need some motivation in business or in health or whatever it is? I've got the video for you, and this is it. You'll want to stay to the very end, because if you wanted to be motivated, I'm going to share with you the podcast you can listen to. They don't cost you anything at all, and it'll help you out with that motivation. Hey, before we get started, don't forget to click that subscribe button down there, turn it from red to gray. Don't forget, ring the bell, turn on all bell notifications so you're notified each and every time I go live or I upload a video. Hey, podcasts are cool, man. And the cool thing about podcasts is you can really focus in on what you want to learn. And that's what this video is about. So if you want the right podcast, get out your pen and paper. You need to start writing stuff down. The first one I'm going to tell you is called Start Yours by Oberlo. Oberlo is an awesome company. They have really good information. They have a really good blog, but they have a podcast called Start Yours. You can search that wherever you listen to your podcast, whether it's Apple or Shopify or whatever. But Oberlo helps you start your business. Oberlo is actually a piece of software that connects AliExpress and Shopify, but they've really branched out and they're really trying to help the individual entrepreneur. So I would highly recommend that. Number 2 is the Gary Vee audio experience. Now, I like Gary Vee a lot. He's a hustler. He's done a lot. He's made a lot of money. I've heard him speak live in person before, and he's basically going to kick you in the butt. Okay, so if you need a kick in the butt, the Gary Vee audio experience, you want to search that wherever you listen to your podcast at, and you'll want to listen to Gary Vee. He's also got a YouTube channel, and you can watch some videos there. But this is great, like if you're driving down the road, you're commuting or whatever, and you want to get some motivation for business, Gary Vee's your guy. Number 3, under business, you want to search Entrepreneurs on Fire. Entrepreneurs on Fire. Great podcast. It brings in a lot of different people, a lot of different viewpoints, a lot of different stuff. So I would highly recommend you checking that out. Now, all 3 of those are really business related, but if you're into personal growth, I've got a whole bunch of podcasts I'm going to recommend to you right now that I think you need to check out. The very first one is called School of Greatness. So go to wherever you listen to your podcast, type in School of Greatness, and I think you're going to be very happy with that one. Next one, they've been around for a long time, is the Mind Valley podcast. The Mind Valley podcast. I really like Mind Valley. They have a lot of good information, a lot of good content, and like I say, wherever you listen to your podcast, whether it be Apple or Spotify, you will find the Mind Valley podcast. Do you want to make the most of your day? Well, then search the Optimal Daily Podcast. Optimal Daily Podcast. It'll help you make the best of your day, use up your time wisely, and feel good at the end of the day. Little word about your attitude, check this one out. It's called the Happier Podcast. The Happier Podcast. You want to check that out? You want to get your emotions up a little bit, feel a little bit better? That's a great podcast, and once again, you'll find it on all the major platforms. All right, so the next 2 I'm going to give you have to do with money. Years ago, I'm going to say in the late 90s, I was traveling on the road and I was doing training for automotive dealerships, and I had my own business, and I was in Nashville. And when I was in Nashville, I started listening to this local guy, and this local guy was talking about money and how to watch your money and how to invest your money and how to pay off your debt and everything. And the guy's name was Dave Ramsey. You may have heard of him now. He has a show on CNN, but he's got the Dave Ramsey podcast. So if you want to get control of your money, you want to quit spending so much, you want to pay off your debts, you want to get financially stable, I would highly recommend the Dave Ramsey show. He's blown up and he's nationwide now, and you know, good for him, right? I know recently somebody made fun of him. They said, you're talking about how to spend your money, but you live in this mansion that's worth millions of dollars. And his reply was, I can afford it. So if you can afford it, it's okay. It's when you can't afford it, right? When you're driving the car that the payments are too much or the house is too much, that's the problem. And Dave Ramsey will help you navigate all that stuff. I highly recommend his podcast. And the next one that is financially oriented is called So Money, S-O Money. You'll want to look for them on wherever you listen to your podcast, So Money, and I think you're going to find that's going to be very helpful to you. Now, one thing's for sure, to be motivated, you got to be healthy. You got to be healthy. I rarely see somebody that's sick and feeling terrible and they're super motivated. That's rare to happen. And I think that's one thing that entrepreneurs forget about. They think it's all about the hustle, and it's all about the work, and it's all about putting in more hours. It's all about doing more and sleeping less. And that's just not true. The truth is you got to be healthy, you got to exercise, you got to, have the right body weight, you got to have all these things going for you, or you don't feel motivated. That's enough to drag you down. So when we get to the health and fitness thing, the first one I'm going to tell you to look at is Hurdle. Check out Hurdle, and I think you get a lot out of it. It's going to go over a lot of nutrition, a lot of health things, a lot of exercise things, but check out Hurdle. And if you really want to focus in, and we're trying to do this ourselves on nutrition, go to a podcast called Nutrition Matters. And it does, if you think about it. If you put crappy fuel and crappy oil in your car, it's not going to run well. I remember I was in Mexico many years ago, and I got some fuel at a gas station, and it had a little bit of water in it, and that car didn't drive too well. Okay, the car was spitting and sputtering because it didn't have the right fuel. And your body and your mind is the same way. If you don't feed it properly, especially your body, if you don't feed it properly, you're not going to do well. If you don't have enough sleep, if you don't have enough exercise, and exercise matters because what your body does is it always tries to adjust down. Okay, and what I mean by that is if you only get out of a chair 3 times a day, when you do get out of a chair, it's going to be really difficult because your body adjusted down. However, if you go to the gym and you do 200 squats, getting out of your chair is not going to be an issue. It's not going to be an issue for you because you've done that over and over at the gym. So you want to exercise past the point that you would normally need your body to do things during the day. Does that make sense? I think it does. In other words, you've got to force your body to do things that it doesn't feel like doing. It's hard to do. I get it. It's very hard to do, but you got to force your body. Otherwise it's going to adjust down, and it's going to keep adjusting down to where you can do very little. I see that a lot nowadays. Even young people in their 30s and 40s that are obese, they're out of weight, and they can't run, they can't get up steps, they can't do stuff because they've just eaten a lot of food and they haven't really exercised. So I highly recommend, if you don't have an exercise regimen, get one and listen to Nutrition Matters. So I've given you a whole list of these podcasts right now, but there's more out there. There's more that you could listen to. Now, where can you find them? If you're not listening to podcasts, you may be asking yourself, well, where do I find them? You can find them at Apple Podcasts. You can also find them at Spotify Podcast. There's also Google Podcasts that you can go to. There's also Stitcher Podcasts that you can go to. There's also iHeart Podcasts that you can go to. Now, like I said, these aren't exhaustive of all motivational podcasts. There's probably some great ones out there. I don't know about it, but I would recommend all these. These are all really, really good. And you've got to think about it this way. When you feed your body the right foods, you feel better, right? When you feed your mind the right thoughts, you're going to think better. That's how it works. So I think it's really important. People say, well, I went to a motivational class once and it really didn't work. Well, it's not something, you don't eat once and for all either. You've got to constantly eat, you got to constantly feed your body, you got to constantly feed your mind. And as you constantly feed your mind, you're going to find that you're going to want to do more things. You're going to want to create more. You're going to want to work more. You're going to want to be with your family more. All these things will grow out of motivating your mind. And the best way to motivate your mind is put positive things in. If you're constantly watching the news, which is the worst thing in the world you can do, or you're around a lot of negative people all day long and you never get any positive input, you're eventually not going to do very well because you need this input, guys. You need this feedback of other human beings. Somebody who is a loner normally doesn't do very well. It's so funny in the news, anytime you hear something horrendous that happens, all the neighbors says, well, he really kept to himself and he was pretty much a loner. That's probably not good for you. Now, all of us, without exception, get demotivated at times. I do. You probably do. So don't feel bad if you get demotivated. Don't feel bad if you're down for a day. Do something about it. Listen to something positive. Change your scenery. And I don't just mean your physical scenery, I mean your mental scenery. What is your mental scenery? Whatever you're thinking about is what you're going to become. Whatever you concentrate on is what you'll achieve. And if you're not thinking the right things, you're all wrapped up in politics and all these world event things that are problems. And keep in mind, the news is always a problem. That's why it's the news, okay? It's always a problem. They don't tell you how great things are going, or you'd turn off the news. You're like, well, I don't want to hear that, right? That's not why people just listen to the news. They listen to the news to hear all the bad things that are happening in the world and to get scared, because that's the other thing the news does, is they try to scare you. So I think it's best, you could certainly listen to the news. I have a friend who's a plastic surgeon, and he hasn't listened to the news for over 25 years. And if you asked him something that was current event, he couldn't tell you because he doesn't care. He says it's all negative. I don't want to hear about it. And he's like one of the most positive, happy people I've ever seen. So think about what you're putting in your mind and change what you're putting in your mind, and change with one of these podcasts or one of your choice if this isn't for you, but at least go through and check these out. I think you'll like them. I really appreciate you listening to this video and being here. I love to get your comments. So if you have any questions or suggestions or anything you'd like to share with me, please put it in the comments section below. Give me a thumbs up if you would. I'd really appreciate that. And don't forget to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button down there, turn it from red to gray, and a bell's gonna pop up. Ring the bell. How do you ring the bell? You click on all notifications, and that way every time I go live or I upload a video, you'll know about it. You don't have to waste your time searching for it because it's just there. Thanks so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey, thanks for watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click that little bell right there so you can be notified every time I do a new video. Also, click on one of those videos there. Keep watching on my channel.